Why does my cap look crooked? I don't know. It's very hard to look at that when you look at that screen. Ah, okay, and of course I'm not getting any viewer counts again, as usual, from Streamlabs. I don't know why that is.
Hate watching now.
Yeah, it says that on that, but it doesn't say it on Streamlabs, you see. Streamlabs says zero viewers. Oh no, there it is. It's got 7 viewers now.
Oh, we lost two.
Anyway, here we are. Saturday morning. I'd rather be playing games than doing a live stream. Such is life. And good morning, Thomas.
I need a break from the game.
you need a break from the games. And we haven't sucked Blue into playing video games yet, but I'm sure that won't take long. I've been sort of spending the last week playing Red Dead. I can't even say that. Still can't say that. After a week, I still can't say it. RDR2, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Red Dead Redemption.
It's a real tongue twister. It's actually quite a good game. I really enjoy it. It's like playing a go hopping. It's like your own mini series that you're directing, right? All the actors know their parts, and you play the part of one character, and you completely fall into it. The visuals on it are just absolutely stunning. I can give you a bit of an idea, but let's do the quick roundup. I'll give you a few snippets of my live stream on Twitch from earlier this week, give you an idea of the game when we get going here. Which is going to be pretty hard because it's already got me in the bottom corner, isn't it? Yeah, that's right, but we'll work something out. What do I need to do? I need to go into here and... Hey?
If you put yourself in the corner, you're just putting yourself over yourself. So
oh, that's right. I'm putting myself over myself. That's right. Yeah, I suppose it'll just look a bit weird. Anyway, so what have we got? Apart from the live stream that's going now, okay, sort of. I'm going to probably get a lot of slack. I changed the name of the channel to Warren Gertie's TV. I don't know why. It was just a whim. But I didn't actually do any videos this week. Sorry, guys. It was Dilbo. Good morning. Yes. This week was nothing different from last week or the week before. We've still got the government making, harebrained rules, and Chanya doesn't look like she's going back to work until maybe sort of end of June now. They're talking. So you got to think of the positives of that, but I'm starting to think the whole thing's a bit of a con. Anyway, so we might do something. But Spedalius the Questa, g'day. So I'm gonna, we're gonna try to get out sort of this next week. We're gonna do a couple of runs out, just sort of, people like the local scene sort of videos. So we might just do a bit of a run around, without doing any essential travel, but just getting out, just to get out of the house a couple of times. But that's what I've been out of the house all week, really. I've been in, where is it? Middle of the Western USA, somewhere, isn't it, Oggy? In Red Dead.
In the heartlands.
In the heartlands of America, in the I think 1899 or something. What is it? 1895 or the late 1800s. That's the setting, and you really feel like you're outside, on a horse, running around the countryside, aiming to be bad. It is quite funny.
Taking in bounties.
Or creating the situation for the bounty hunters to chase you. Anyway, so emergency appeal after Father Ray Foundation in Pattaya. That's an interesting one from Dan there. I'm not quite sure what that's about. I guess it's a sort of a charity drive. Everybody out there at the moment is suffering. We've got Chanya in the back playing her YouTube. Darling, I'm streaming now.
She's not playing Snake?
No, she's not playing Snake. She's watching some sort of video stuff. Arguments and breakups. Stay tuned for round 2. That's interesting. What's happened there with Sarah? I didn't even think she had a good boyfriend at the time, but such is life. Maggie's journey. Okay, from the stream from 6 days ago, and a walk around getting ready for rainy season, digging into the bottom of the river Karat. Okay. We've had some interesting out of sequence rain squalls come through here in the last week. I think it was a Monday week ago. We had sort of a heavy downpours here, and we had Patia, I think, and all through here again. A couple of days ago, we had sort of fairly heavy rain, very unseasonal. Well, maybe the fact that it is actually seasonal, but with the whole climate change issues and everything else, things have changed. Good afternoon, Dallo. How are you today? Brian, what's he doing? Building project there up in northern Thailand. He's on his second week.
Took over a project.
Took over a project, did he? Good on him.
Yeah, the people that were doing it before screwed it up.
Did they
finish it?
I still can't believe the Perry. G'day. Still can't believe the building designs here. They're very much like Lego set buildings. The way they put them up with. Well, this is the way they do it in Thailand.
With bricks, I mean that's blocks.
No, what I used to see is they put these pillars up first, that and then they sort of fill in between the pillars. It's a very strange sort of building sort of style. We would put the foundation, then we'd put a floor on, then we'd raise the walls and then put the roof on. But they do it a completely different way. Anyway, what's Chuck up to? Uploads. Driving to Vietnam, very different than Thailand. He's done a Vietnam trip, has he? Okay.
I haven't watched that one. I've been busy in the game all day.
That's right. You've been busy in the game. I am safe now. What life living in Thailand? Again, sort of. I'm not feeling any inconvenience in real life, apart from the fact that I think I sort of said it on a comment somewhere, as I just don't go to Bangkok anymore. So I'm not using public transport. I'm not hanging around the shopping centres, the malls, and the bars, and which was once a week sort of exercise, and the coffee, our Friday coffee period that we were doing. Just not doing that, and we don't get to sit down and have food out in the street. We got to bring it all home and eat. They did extend our alcohol ban till the 30th, so luckily I did buy the 2 cases of beer. But anyway, such is life. I was just saying that. Sorry, what was that, Augie?
I feel sorry for you guys not being able to purchase any alcohol.
Yeah. Well, I did buy double what I would need for a week, but Paul H, g'day. So they're Perry, like everything's together. Everything seems to be fine. There's just, and apart from the fact that the use of masks, I don't feel anxious about the whole issue. I personally have, me and Oggy had a big discussion about this earlier this week on our Discord. We went on for about an hour or two, just trawling YouTube, trawling information articles, because there's a lot of information coming up, but we'll get to that shortly. Thai-tastic, what's he got there? His uploads are down there. Finally, Lay's launched Thai-tastic. That'll make him happy. Thai-tastic potato chips. That'll make him happy. Walk and Talk Thailand live stream. He was obviously still wandering around there somewhere. A few bits and pieces. I think everybody's doing lots of live stream these days. Not much else to film, is there? And of course, Thailand Unplugged. He's done some news out there 2 days ago, and this morning, or would have been last night his time, some more news articles. That'll be ready for his live stream this afternoon. Andrew, Direction Bangkok. That's an interesting looking thumbnail. I don't know what he's done there. Mask, True Mortality, and YouTube. Okay. Love Thailand, hate YouTube. I was trying to get this stream. I scheduled the stream last night, and it actually made it 10 p.m. today. Lucky sort of Blue, he noticed the error. So I got on this morning trying to get the schedule right. G'day Pat, how you doing? So trying to get the schedule right for getting this, getting the 10 a.m. And then he wanted to put it on Sunday morning 10 a.m. So I deleted that one and sort of kicked it up again, and when it's Saturday morning 9:30 a.m. deleted that one, and finally after I think 4 tries I finally got it to accept the fact that I actually wanted to do it at 10 a.m. Saturday morning. Oh my God. Well, as I said, nothing's really changed at all. I play video games. I just get more gaming time. I got less reason to go out. I think Chanya's getting the shits with it. She's crawling the wall at the moment. But she doesn't give me any alternatives, to sitting at home. If she wants to go out somewhere, she has to say so. Darling, come and say hello. Darling, wake up, say hello. Come to the screen.
Hey.
Hey.
Not say hello.
What? Come, say hello.
No.
Come here.
It's just.
Come here. It's okay. Come down. She's got a white nightie on today. Here she is. Everybody. So there's Perry. Say hello to Perry.
Hello.
We still haven't got the what do you call it? The headphone splitter. And there's Dowlo, and there's Pat, and there's Paul, and Oggy, and Blue, and 16 people altogether. Not everybody wants to talk. So just wave.
Hello. Am I sorry, John?
Yeah, you're always beautiful, darling. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
But if she wants to go somewhere, she just has to say something, and we can make plan to go somewhere. Oh my God! Sorry, Malone.
Hey.
Cut off, Malone. Nice hairstyle, just long and brown. Yes. Anyway, where were we getting to? What were we doing? Just wanted to get her to say hello. I did say she was going to do an appearance this week, but I needed to get the headphone splitter, so the fact that she can get the headphones on as well, so that she can talk with the people on Discord at the same time, and watch the live chat as we go along. But yeah, that delivery didn't come through. I did get my 16 gig RAM upgrade for the laptop. That went through. That came on Monday. Anyway, moving straight along. Foreigner Joe, free government-sponsored vaccinations in Thailand. I don't think they're free for Farang though. But that's beside the point. Kiri Khan, Thailand village by the sea. Cottage by the sea, cottage by the sea. David Daly did something from what was it? Soy honey dinner. That was from a week ago. Something he did there. That was actually in Thailand, and of course the other one's Saigon. I think this is all canned footage. He takes a lot of video when he's out here. Niall, what's Niall been up to? Bangkok, sun up. He did a StreamYard chat with a few other people there. That's all he's been doing. I think the lockdown is really all you really can't go out. They say essential travel, so. That's why we haven't been out anywhere apart from the street, and you've seen the street, half a dozen times, so I can't show you much more of the street. But if you give me some ideas of what to show in the street, then maybe I'll make a video of it. Okay, so Chiang Mai Thai video. What do we got? Uploads. Best thing to do in Chiang Mai. Well, not much to do in Chiang Mai, really, is there? I don't think he's back here. That must be canned footage, or is he over here? I have to find out. And in case Jim Andrews, don't do this in Thailand. 6 days ago. Johnny Siam, It's a live stream from lockdown in I don't know. Is he over here? No, that's a live stream. He's got going on tonight. Was it tonight? 25th. 4/25th. So that's 4 p.m. today. Tune in for that one. Hopefully I'll be around. Ian Weldale, Dystopia Part 2, Mood Lifted. Yeah, mood is something that seems to be now taking the effect. I can see a lot of people are getting just a little bit overly annoyed with the whole situation because we're not seeing any viruses here in Thailand. And we're going, well, why do we have to do this, and we'll get to that sort of discussion. What we got? Amazing Chiang Mai, King Power, Mahakon, Bangkok. What was he doing down in Bangkok? Was that essential trouble? I wonder. Eyes of a Thai, planting new rice down there. Lifestyle Smile. Lifestyle Smile. Untitled video. Looks like that's all she does. She just does these. Not much to do apart from exercise, is there? Maybe I should do some more exercise too. Live stream from Pi there. Big Fat's bestie. He's done something there in Thailand. There's some canned footage. Some apartment tour there. Bad Badger retired in Thailand. Thai chicken and potato red curry. Beauty and the Beast. Yes, I think I come across this this one here. This is a new channel he started posting on our Facebook group the other day. He reached out and said hi. So here's episode 5, exploring Chinatown and Bangkok. This is obviously current footage. Where's Stephen? He's probably in bed or he's forgotten something. I don't know. I saw a post on his Facebook this morning on our Facebook Messenger group at 7:30 in the morning. So he was up then. Maybe he's had to go get some food. Or go and do some local shopping. Trying to hunt down some toilet paper maybe. I don't know. Arriving in Koh Phi Phi. That was canned footage from Don there. Live Travel Asia. I think it's all Korea stuff at the moment. Talkback Thailand, who's got his schedule for this afternoon at 6 p.m. So you've got Johnny Simon at 4 p.m. and then that then kicks off at 6 p.m. here. Robert Mack uploads Longbridge in Los Angeles. He's back in the States. David, Thai kindergarten visit in the village, Thai village Bukhiram. Looks like you're doing some, visiting the kids. Always a bit of a dangerous video, that one, unfortunately, because it's get you in trouble with the sort of Thai authorities. Andy Wright Travel. What's he done here? There's still more of his Thailand 8 adventure. Dan Britton. Dan Britton. What's he got there? Videos. My first YouTube paycheck. Really? Did he finally monetize his channel, did he? He must have went to turn it on and then found out the dramas the hoops you got to go through just to get $100 from him, Oh God. 20 seconds in Thailand. A new mic night. A new mic. Can you hear me now? Okay, he's got himself a new mic. Okay. Phuket, Kamela Beach. Sorry, we're closed. Looks like he's done a live stream there. Oh, there's another thing I found out with our Discord. Well, we might get onto that just shortly. We can actually do this multi-video on our Discord as well, so I don't have to pay for anything. Isn't that nice? We were testing that earlier this week, but of course not everybody has a camera. Nick down there in Pattaya uploads buying food with June to give away. They've been very the Nightwish group and Nick have been very active in the community, helping the community down there, which is really good to see. You always do share your love, and don't forget to check out his videos.
Yeah, they were doing 1,000 meals a day for a week.
Yeah, I know, it's really, really good stuff, yeah. That foreign bloke still building up there. When do they stop building? Pancake Lens, not a live chat from, not quite sure where he is, I'm pretty sure he's over in England still. James abroad, Thailand, April 21st, one of the viral news things.
How do you know James abroad?
Yeah. Oh, Blue's actually letting people know his real name. I didn't think he wanted to do that. It's okay. We'll still call you Blue, okay, Gianni? It's okay, we'll call you Blue. You're all blue to us. And uploads from there from Serena, live from home. Yeah, that's what I do in a day quarantine. People have been saying I should do, what's it like? But I can give you a bit of example for that. Let's close that for a second. What's it like? Okay, so let's go to what's it like, Warren? We'll check that out shortly. Okay, where's my Twitch?
Nice one, Go-Go. I love that song.
Yeah, as soon as I start singing it, they'll ban the channel, Who we got? So my videos. We'll do one from earlier this week. That was the first one. That was the first one. Let's do this one here.
What you say?
Well, when I opened the browser this morning, I have a message to say, I guess we're going to go and do this freaking mission. Right, okay. Just give you an idea of what this game is like. So there it is, me overlaying me. Just the reality. Let me sort of go to that one there.
Warren, they are not going to pay you any royalties for this, all right?
No, I don't get any royalties for this stuff. No. So this is the reality, the complete vista of the game. It's just, this is your what's his name again?
Arthur Morgan.
Arthur Morgan. And you're sitting there. You're being this Arthur Morgan. You're conversing with these guys. I've got subtitles and the game turned on.
Get on. Good. And you?
It goes into the cinematic mode when it's like the set piece.
Charles, I'll go get him. Meet us at the wagon when you can.
Right, so you do these missions.
See, Arthur? Ain't that dumb. Next time, let the wolves eat all your brain. Then you'll be a genius.
Eat all your brain, then you'll be a genius. Some of the lines, some of the voice acting and characterizations are so good in this. Go off to here again. Right, the wagon.
Yeah, Rockstar's got a pretty good budget, I think. And
yeah.
Some of these characters have done interviews and talked about
rainbows in the background there and things like that. Just the way just the complete vista. So I'm not feeling penned in, if you know what I mean. I'm out in the wilderness, in the wilderness of the Bible Belt in America, which I thought was quite charming.
Can I ask you a favor?
Probably not.
Very funny. Would you do something with Jack? He seems kind of down. All this upheaval can't have been easy on the poor kid.
Why? Because I'm your preferred nursemaid?
Because he likes you and, well,
he's a bit sarcastic.
You know his father's useless.
Okay.
Thank you.
Again, another cut scene. It's a set piece in the game. Once that cut piece is gone, then of course that's you taking over you know, and it gives you clues. Go and talk to Jack. So it's just the guy. Like I played this. I think I've put since I got it last Sunday. I've got sort of 35 hours up on the game on the stream, but it is just so real.
I thought you had 35 hours in the first 2 days from the way it was looking.
It felt like it, didn't it? Yeah. So here we are, and we're out there fishing. Just even the water, you know, the water is just so realistic, you know, and even the fishing, you know, just the fishing process looks so good.
This is hard.
If we can get up to a.
Why am I not catching any?
Just be patient.
See if we can find a gunfight somewhere.
There's the guy getting ready to get killed by his horse again.
Yeah, I know. There's a few of them. They get that done. I'm only just. This is only day 3, 29%. Oh, this is one of the set pieces. You know, the side missions. There's stacks of side missions in it and everything else. Was this the? Yeah, there we go. So I got a scope rifle there, shooting people.
Get all of you. Shit.
Yeah, when he says that, you know it's done.
Oh shit! I'm getting out of here. Yeah.
Just be.
You better sleep with your eyes open.
Yeah, well, you're gonna sleep with your chest open if you ain't careful, boy.
Oh, that's right. This is the train robbery, isn't it?
Train robbery.
Take a shot. Come on, take your best. Or something. That could
So
put
I'm
you
going
out
to
of
move this
commission
there
for
we
the
go.
rest of the year.
That's the train coming into the station. Let's go back. That's right. That's the train. But stop the train. Stop the train.
Nothing good.
Board the passenger car.
I think the guy sounded like Sam Elliott, is it?
Yeah, got an old, you know, 4x4 steamer, so 6x4 steam locomotive.
All yours, Captain. Go on ahead.
So you got to get on the train, and you got to go and beat people up, gotta rob them. There, this is a hold up. This is a hold up. There we go. See, I'm a bad guy.
Money, valuable.
Money, valuables.
This is unnecessary. Let's make this quick, people. Come on.
And yeah, so we go and rob the train.
Make me hurt just to
And we're gonna, of course, the guards at the back are having a problem with this stuff, so we're going to take out the guards.
Get up. Need some help here, boy? I'll miss your brother.
So as you see, what do I do each day? I'm out in the wilderness robbing trains, you know, getting up the mischief. I hardly even having trouble remember what day it is, because you get 3 or 4 days and there we go. I've robbed $259 from the coach. But yeah, you just completely get totally engrossed in this game. Some of the headshot realism, and you just can't get over this stuff. It's just so real.
Arthur, we got a problem.
We got the laws coming
How
in.
many you say?
I just see a pair of them.
In that case, we're fighting. Marston, Smith,
Yeah, pair of them, yeah, pair of them bullshit.
we said you men come out now. There's only 2 of you, you fools. We got a whole lot less to lose. Why don't the 2 of you ride away? That way neither you get killed. Goddamn liberties.
Ed, there's a few more of them turning up.
In my big mouth.
A few more.
Few more. Yep, there we go. Now I'm wanted again. We're going to do my Deadeye. So I should be using Deadeye here, but I'm not using it.
From the trees there.
Yeah, the law don't like me. Yes, that's what the game's all about, you know. It's not completely sort of, you know, There we go. It's a nice headshot. Some of the headshots are really good. Anyway, rather than bore you with the games, that's what I do. That's me and my lifestyle, living in lockdown. Yeah, well, the thing is, like, it only came out last December in Rockstar Games for PC. I don't have a console, Dilbo, so yeah, it's been out for a couple of years.
Yeah, I played it on PS4 a year ago, but they just released it. I had to go and buy it again because it's just too much fun.
Yeah, and what we're trying to do, I'm trying to get enough way through to get competent enough, and they've got a multi-user, and that was the thing. Me and Oggy were going to go and cause a lot of mischief in the online. What's it? Is it MMO or is it sort of separate servers or what? Or got the maximum per server or what? How do they do the MMO?
I don't know. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So we're going to jump in and without any of the set missions, we're going to jump in as a couple of hired hands or a couple of bounty hunters and go and play the game.
Well, there are set missions in the online.
Oh, there are set missions in the online as well. Well, I don't know. So that's one of the games we're playing. We're also, of course, the last 2 days, Imperion just released their experimental version of Imperion, so there's version 12. So that went up yesterday online for everybody who actually 2 days ago, I think it went on. And we went and jumped on there yesterday, and we spent 12 hours playing with the experimental version to see all the new stuff that they put into it. Oh my God, tell you. Absolutely crazy stuff. Yeah, so what's going on in the real world? I've got no clue. This is my life is online. It's just, that's what I do. I go downstairs at lunchtime, eat breakfast or eat brunch, go downstairs again at dinner time when I want to eat dinner. And rest of the time it's just online, life online. There's no viruses there, well, not on my computer anyway. So it's just a very easy lifestyle. Anyway, getting around, what do we got? So we got some numbers coming out of the planet, right? And this is what I wanted to sort of really highlight is that it's starting to look, in my mind, this is what we're having a discussion for. Something's just very suspicious. Right, what's going on? You got 890,000 cases in the US now, 51,000 deaths. Right, that's a country with 350 million people. And then you get a country like the United Kingdom, with 144,000 deaths, cases, and close to 20,000 deaths. Now, England has 65 million people. They have about half the area of Thailand, and you come down to Thailand here, and we're going, well, we're suffering for the rest, the idiocracy of the rest of the world. We've had 2,500 cases, or 2,800 cases, and 50 confirmed deaths. And we've actually got 2,400 recovered. So we've actually only got 400 people in hospital right now, if you know what I mean. So come on, why can't we get back to normal? They are sort of announcing sort of, like getting back to normal process. But we're just not seeing what every other country's seeing. And this is what I was speculating with Oggy there. And what's different with Thailand? Okay, so I'm sure England were doing a lockdown, but the thing is, we had Chinese coming into the country here right through to mid-February. They locked down in Wuhan in China, but they were still coming across the border. Now, Chinese are the biggest cross-border tourists that we get here in Thailand. I was out and amongst it, up until the middle of February at least. I think that's when. Was it end of February? I was still doing my meetups up until the end of February, the 1st of March, I think. So I was still in amongst, travellers around the place and doing all the stuff, right? And we are just not seeing what the rest of the country's doing. And I was just speculating, well, where's the tests of demographics? Like, is there something to do with the diet we have here in Thailand? I know. Look, I've been eating really spicy food lately. I've been giving my stomach a real good workout with the spicy foods. I'm starting to acclimate my whole body system to eating more Thai food because that's pretty much what we got available in the street. I can order, McDonald's from Grab and pizza from Grab, which I do. I order pizza probably once a week. But we also got there's Tukla D. Tukla D is the little cafeteria that's attached to the Foodland, and they actually do their Thai menu, but they do it in English, so I can actually see all the Thai dishes, which is one thing. So things I can't. I like to change it up a bit. Thais tend to eat the same thing over and over again, or 2 or 3 different dishes. Like Chanya's always eating lap mu. Lab mu, which is a pork dish. It's an Isan pork dish. But I should probably eat that 3 or 4 days a week. One of my favourite dishes is krapau mu with fried egg, kai dao, which I'll probably have twice a week. I just think it's a really tasty meal. The girl that normally makes it for me, it's nice and spicy, but not too spicy. She knows the spiciness levels that I like, and I'll probably have that twice a week. And there's other things. There's the chicken curries and the masaman curries and things we can get here in the street. But there's a couple of dishes that I like that I can't get in the street, which I then order from Tukla D, which works quite well. And then sort of go hopping. Yeah, so I have to get back to this whole thing. Is there a diet thing that needs to be considered here? The Thai people, they weigh, they don't shake hands. There is this sort of automatic sort of distancing thing that Thais do. Thais, I think there was a big tirade on Facebook the other day. One of the Thai upper echelon government officials sort of saying Farangs are dirty, they don't shower. And Chanya hits me up about the fact that I only shower once a day. I can't see the point of showering twice a day, but Thai people tend to shower twice a day. So that they have a fairly high level of hygiene automatically in their society. And I don't know whether this is something that's particular to Thailand, but again, when we still looked at around this area, so we got Thailand, we got Vietnam. I don't know what the Vietnam numbers are. We'll have to probably zoom in here. We got Vietnam has got very low numbers, 270 confirmed. Cambodia, 112 confirmed. Right, nobody really wants to go to these countries. Laos. 19 confirmed, almost 0 cases over there, 0 deaths. Myanmar, 144, 5 deaths. Yeah, and there's a lot of speculation. Well, what about the testing? Are people actually going to hospital? But we've got a very good hospital system over here. Thais have been told that they can get treated for free now. So there should be no concern about a Thai if they are feeling the slightest bit of ill, they should be going to hospital. And of course, the other part of the discussion I was having was, which we got into a bit of quite a bit of a to and fro on this one, which was the testing procedures and what's being reported. We already know the numbers coming out. They're quite suspicious in the fact that this is saying out of the deaths, the numbers on the deaths, for instance, 90% of deaths are existing illnesses, like they've got pleurisy or they've got a heart condition or they've got some other major ailment, and the virus. Well, what we're seeing here in Thailand, the virus is just like. It attacks your immune system, or your immune system goes into overdrive. So if you've already got an existing ailment or illness, you've already got a compromised immune system already. And therefore, right, having some, this is like the icing on the cake, which is taking you out. Whereas the other thing is we have a fairly good pharmaceutical industry, but we don't have a big push from the big pharmaceutical companies in Australia and England and America to keep you in the drug system. And this is something I was saying to somebody on Facebook. I really feel the fact that they're, like the Western society is so reliant on the over-the-counter drugs, right, that their immune system is already compromised because they are continually taking drugs because they've got a headache or they've got a runny nose or they got, they feel off colour or and they're constantly taking these drugs. So the immune system that we've got is compromised or it's been hijacked. I think the term I use has been hijacked by the pharmaceutical industry. And so it makes us a weaker species in the West, right? China's, they're into long-time herbal medicines. So is Thailand, and the stuff I've seen in the chemist. You can get sort of over-the-counter drugs for most things. You've got to go to the hospital to be prescribed some of the other stuff. G'day Brian, how you doing? Check the Thai Airways briefing regarding the future changes to travel worse than Korea. Again, we don't want this virus coming to our country. They're locking it down. That's it. We want to get back to normal. They want to get Thai people back to normal because we had this issue last week that was raised, the fact that they promised this handout to keep all the people out of work, fed, right? That money's not coming through to sort of half the people that need it, right? The bar girls, they don't get it. If you run your own sort of hairdressing business, you don't get it. If you're self-employed, you don't get it. It's only government employees and sort of, and if you're on the, if you're paying into the government sort of tax system as an employee, do you actually qualify? And again, they sort of said that they didn't have the money to do 3 months worth, and all of a sudden they did find the money. I think they cancelled an order for some military equipment or something like that, and suddenly they got money, but that's another thing altogether. So we got this area seems to be devoid of the virus. It's going to the rest of the world, but it's not here. So there's something about this area of the continent, right, that seems to be immune to it effectively. And what is that? Why aren't they getting studies? Why aren't we looking at diet? Why aren't we looking at what the problem is? Okay, some people say there's not enough testing going on, but are you going to go to the hospital, right, with a runny nose, which is probably what they call an asymptomatic or slightly asymptomatic, as I said, we could have already had the damn thing. It might have been a sore throat I had, beginning of March there. It could have been because I had sore throat, I had a headache, I had a stuffy nose. It felt different to the other times throughout the thing, but I just put it down to pollution. The other things, Thais were already wearing masks most of the time because of the heavy pollution here in Bangkok. And really, what they found out is, the things that got spread, the major spreading of this virus was through these big public gatherings. There was a boxing match. Some crazy Japanese guy decided to have a big party at his house with his friends. He was symptomatic. Came down, and then of course those people went out into shopping centres and around the area, and we got a few hotspots. But that's about all it was, Provinces locked down, and then of course we had the mass exodus from Thailand, from Bangkok, because people couldn't work because things were being shut down, and that spread it out to the countryside. But people did the right thing. They were just getting inside, they were locking themselves down and doing the right thing. I think there's just something wrong with the West, this whole idea, the fact that it's frustrating. We should have got rid of it. The rest of the world should be up where Thailand is if they'd done the right thing. I don't know what's going on. It's just, it's almost like they want this virus to take out the population. That was my personal feeling. There was some interesting articles came through. There was one Israeli news article that I found that there's a bit of sort of questionable footage of the fact that there is a vaccine, and the government officials in America are taking the vaccine. right? So they're immune to it. So they don't need to wear masks at these briefings. They put them on just for the sake of it. Come on. There's so much misinformation out there. It's really getting quite crazy. Anyway, let's see what everybody else is talking about. We're just not having really the problem here. We'll be sort of, pretty much virus free within another 14 days. Too Slow Coach, g'day, how you doing? Okay, so how far do I got to scroll back to find out what's going on? Sometimes chew the fat show. Sometimes I'll go the chew fat Chinese restaurant. Backlash has started against China, 7%. Yeah, I know. G'day, Andy. How you doing? There has been a bit of a xenophobic backlash, but as I was saying, I think there was a post I saw somewhere. I think it was Big Fat Bessie was making this point, about the people sort of saying, "Don't buy Chinese." Well, God, I can't find anything on my desk that doesn't have at least one Chinese part in it. It's all Chinese. China produces probably the 80% of the rare earth metals for everything around the globe, and these rare earth metals is what makes your mobile phones and makes your cameras and makes anything with a magnet, right? And anything that has a magnet, it usually has a rare earth metal in it. So just think about that. If you sort of put a wall around China, I know they got a part of a wall somewhere there, but if you put a wall around China and said, stay in your little Chinese area, right, we're not talking to anyone, basically the rest of the world's just not ready for that. China, they don't realise that what's happened over the last 100 years, they have just let this process escalate to a point of letting, this globalization push that the big companies had to sort of want to be in every country so that they can get the best deals, get the best tax breaks. It's completely screwed up the whole planet, right? And there's just no way you can sort of, selectively to say don't buy Chinese, because it's just not going to be possible, right? China is part of the global economy, whether you like it or not, and there's just no way you can cut them off. That's just going to something people are going to have to wake the hell up on that one. Yeah, go up, and yeah, antibiotic resistance is one of the biggest threats. That's it. But I look, as I said, it's the reliance on just the simple drugs. In Australia, you get a runny nose, you're taking all these antihistamines, right? And antihistamines, they screw your body up, right? And you need to actually take histamines to balance it out again, or add something to your diet, because antihistamines not only stop the runny nose, but they stop your lymph nodes doing the things that they normally do, right? Stops your, the glands that are producing the normal things that your glands are supposed to do to make the body function properly. And what other things is there? Headaches, Look at, I said, I got a friend of mine, I don't speak to him very often these days, but he had diabetes. Okay, diabetes is a serious illness, but the guy had stage 2 guy across the road from me when living in Australia. He had stage 2 diabetes. It was quite severe, and he only took insulin at the very, very rarest occasions because of something he missed in his diet. He basically was able to correct his stage 2 or stage 2 diabetes simply with a diet. Right, just by watching his body. He just knew his body. He was French, of course, as well, so he did know how to cook, and he knew how to do the right things. But he had a good diet. He didn't have to take that insulin, right? But this guy here has diabetes, in America I'm talking about, stage 2 diabetes, right? Then he has to take another set of drugs to offset the complication that the insulin does. And then he had to take other drugs just to combat the headaches that those sort of secondary drugs were doing. Then he has to take another set of drugs to lift his mood up because he's always depressed, right? The guy takes 4 different sets of drugs to live, right? And he spends half of his take-home income on drugs. And he wonders why he can't buy food, good food. He says he has to eat packaged foods, right? Because the price of whole foods and like freshly grown produce is exorbitant in America. He just can't afford it, and so basically lives in his basement. He games, right, and he's constantly sick, right? That's what I mean. He's a slave to the pharmaceutical industry. Right, he might not pay the full price. I'm pretty sure he gets government subsidies to pay for most of his drugs, but that's his life, right? But I know many Americans that rely on this drug process to keep themselves alive, right? The other thing is, we're talking about vaccines. They're talking about bringing in a vaccine, and it's going to be forced upon us. I haven't had a vaccine forced upon me since I was 15 years old when I had to fly to England. I had to take, when I came to England and when I was 15 years old, the travel requirements to go to England, because we went through Singapore, Bangkok, Bahrain, Frankfurt and London, those 5 destinations. We had to have yellow fever, we had to have smallpox, and there was another drug. I think there was a third one. I can't remember what it was, but there was three injections I had to have just to get into those countries. But without those ones, the only one I took voluntarily, well, I think it was 14 years old. I think I stepped on a nail in the backyard, so I went to the doctor to get a tetanus shot. But what are kids like? Look at the vaccines that they're pumping at the children now. What's wrong with the vaccines I had when I was growing up? I think I had 4 vaccines between the age of 12 months old to 10 years old or something like that. There was polio, which was a spoonful of sugar, diphtheria, whooping cough, and there was one more. Right, those were the vaccines were available there. I got mumps, I got chickenpox, I got all the normal kid viruses that we were so used to. Now they give you injections for that sort of stuff. Why are we doing that? Right, people that grew up in the 60s and the 70s, we didn't have them. We seem to get along all right. Okay, we had a few people die, but that's the problem. A few people died. Right, now everybody has to take these vaccines to compromise their immune system. Right, I believe certain vaccines are required, yes, but seriously, a vaccine for mumps, a vaccine for chicken pox, come on, let the kids get chicken pox, for crying out loud. It doesn't kill you. Well, it might kill the really weak ones, but they probably don't deserve to live. The nature takes care of itself. We have got a species of sick people now on the planet. It really is quite shocking. But apart from that, that's my bit of a rant for the day. I think it's just got completely out of hand. I will not be taking the vaccine for this particular virus unless, of course, it's forced upon me. Right? Take this vaccine or you have to frickin' go into jail or something like that. Then I'll be taking the vaccine because I don't really want to do a stint in jail. Especially here around in Thailand. Have you seen the jails over here? Stuart Lennox. Okay, Stuart. Nick was just saying some of his girls. Yeah, I think some of the bars, depending on the bar scene, I think it's to do with the fact that if they're actually on the government scheduled taxation and compensation system. See, we don't have a social security over here in Thailand. It's something that Thais actually pay into, or their employee pays into, to give them the option for the social security if something goes wrong. It's a real pittance of a handout. So if you pay into that system for 30 years of your life, I think when you come to Pa's age, at 68, 69 years old, you get something like 500 baht a month. That's the handout after paying into that system for so long. It's nothing to write home about, but it's a compensation system for old age. Basically, Thais look after their parents, not like the West. Sweet and sour pork from she does sweet and sour. She does what is it? What is it called? I can't from my. I still can't remember the name of it, but she does the sweet and sour, but it's not Chinese sweet and sour. It's a Thai version. It's really quite nice. It's sweet and sour Chinese has always, in my mind, been really sweet and tangy, whereas this one that she makes for us, it's got a lot of the peppers in it and a few other things. It's sweet and sour and spicy, if you know what I mean. It's really quite yummy. It's one of my favourites. I like Chinese restaurants. Yeah, okay. I drank. You tried the Tide Pods, have you? I've just lost my place again. Brian Jackson, you are dead right. Veg and fruit should have no tax on it and should be subsidised by the government, which gives access to everybody healthier. Well, this is the other thing. The whole.
You're here in a way.
So what was that?
Most states in the U.S. do not tax food.
Don't they?
And most of the farms are, how shall I say?
I think in Australia, primary project is GST free as well. But here's the other thing: we're so used to supermarkets in Australia. Where can you go? Where in Sydney could you go to get fresh produce? You know, Harris Farm Markets. I think they're shut down at the moment. I'm not quite sure. You have to correct me on that one. But here in Thailand, like, nothing's really changed. Like the fresh, as I said, the copious amounts of fresh produce here on the street. That's another thing. Thais eat fresh food, right? We don't eat packaged food. It's not processed or overly processed. There's a big thing going on in Australia now. The amount of food that is thrown on the rubbish heap because it might have a little blemish on the skin of a tomato. They go through these checking lines looking for anything, because they're going to present that in the supermarket, and it's got to look pretty, right? The food is perfectly all right, guys, right, if it's got a blemish. And I was just seeing here, I think when we're out there doing did the shopping the week before last. We have to do shopping. We're going to do another shopping run, probably today or tomorrow. But what they were doing, they actually had a smoothie stand downstairs, right? And that's what they do with the fresh produce that's about ready to expire. They don't throw it out. They give it to Thai people, or they give it to the staff, and then they set up little stands and they make fresh fruit smoothies, for instance. Brilliant idea. Why aren't we seeing that? But I'm seeing Australia, rather than throw the stuff in the rubbish heap, let's make fruit and vegetable smoothies out the front of the shop. This is about ready to give them away for 20 cents. You're going to throw the stuff in the rubbish heap anyway, right? Skin it, blend it, put some ice in it, and give it away. Rather than throw it on the heap, the throwaway society in the West is completely ridiculous, and there's nothing wrong with the stuff that even doesn't make it to the supermarkets. Oh, the amount like farmers are destitute because they won't take hail damage or it's got bruising on apples, and really there's nothing wrong with the apple, guys, right? It's scary stuff. Yeah, there's never been why hasn't there been what they call something that's been made to take care of these viruses, Andy? With viruses, viruses are something that the body has to deal with. The body's immune system takes care of it if it's healthy, and invariably, most people who have a healthy immune system don't really suffer too much from viruses. If you're careful about it, you probably won't even get the common cold or common flu if you're careful about your personal hygiene, because that's what they spread like that. The common cold, I think, can be considered airborne. So I think the flu is considered can be airborne as well. But it's the same airborne as this one here. It's it needs moisture for the virus to survive in the air, so as you cough and sneeze, it spreads out, all right, and then you breathe that in, and it sits in your throat and hits you in the nasal passages. But again, if you've got a healthy immune system, your immune system should recognise these things and have antibodies already prepared, ready to go. Yeah, and Paul in Sydney, I drank water out of the taps. I've drank water out of some places that look a lot less healthy than a tap water. I did a lot of camping in my younger days. We used to, camp on, out in the bush and out in the beach, and, everywhere. We used to do that every day, every weekend. Well, not every weekend, but summertime. That was our lifestyle. Go and take a spear and go and spear your breakfast at 5:30 in the morning in 20-degree cold water. That's that's what we did on the weekends. We used to do that all the time. Behave people. I just can't understand. People just don't get out of their house these days.
I got out of the house. I went shopping today.
Did you?
I went and bought groceries.
What's this?
What are you doing?
If you go to jail, if you go to jail and catch chickenpox and mumps, you'll have the vaccine for those also. Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah. I've had mumps. I've had chickenpox. So I'm supposedly immune to it.
Now you just got to watch out for what's the late onset chickenpox that if you've had it, you've got to get vaccinated.
Yeah, was it the shingles or something? That's it.
Shingles, that's it.
Yeah.
We'll start with rickets. I knew it wasn't that.
Yeah, so yeah, if you don't get chickenpox early, if you catch it later, there we go. From Dallo, good on you, Dallo. Let me just see what he did. No, there we go. Chickenpox. If you get it as a child, you almost won't get the shingles when you're adults. But
actually,
again,
it's the other way around. It's the other way around. If you've had chickenpox, you're probably going to have shingles.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I've had
because the virus is in your system as you age and your immune system degrades. That's when the shingles.
Oh right, yeah, okay. So it does turn into that, right? So I've never had the vaccine, but I'm immune to getting chickenpox because I've got antibodies in my body, right? As long as I don't, as long as I have a healthy life and everything else, I think we're going to be good.
Very, very painful. No fun.
Yeah, but still treatable.
Yeah. I've seen people with it. I haven't had it. I pray to God I don't get it. But yeah, it's because I've had.
There's 7.5 billion people on this planet, and I think we just should let nature take its course and kill off the weaker part of the herd. But that's a bit narcissistic on my behalf. So
as the weaker part of the herd, I disagree with this comment.
Well, that's what I go. Some of our best friends are the weaker part of the herd, but it's just one of those unnatural things. It's you got to have compassion in society as well. But what do you do? We've dug our own grave, right? Effectively, as a society, we've dug our own grave in this sort of situation. And there's really no way. This is just the icing on the cake, right? This thing here, I think there was an article, the fact that this is now, this is one I was going to have to do. Where was the one about?
I compare it to the wildfires in Oregon. So the state of Oregon fought the fires and prevented clear fires from sweeping through the forests and eliminating the ground cover. So after 15, 20 years of this ground cover being allowed to grow without being cleared out by the regular fires, the fires were so bad that it wiped out the forest because they artificially prevented the fires, which were actually a renewal of the forest every year.
Go. I flatly refuse to eat the black piece of you mean the bruised part? But you blend that in a smoothie, you won't notice it.
He does. He'll, 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 he'll deep kiss a woman in the bar 5 minutes later without knowing where she's.
Yeah, I think again you get to. We're a strange species. That's all I can think of. Yeah, Andy Stubbs, the amount of food that they throw away in Coles and Woolies is ridiculous. They could give it to Bunnings people, and they can, along with their sausage sizzle on Sunday, they could give away free smoothies. Stuck in Florida, I just missed that one there. Of course, I'm really sort of. Oh, Mr. Mitch, good on you. Thanks, buddy. So I'm just trying to catch up to everything. Leo, on me, burp. It's, time for Leo yet. It is. It's time for Leo. But unfortunately, my supplies will only last till the 30th. So I've got to be very speedy, drink it sparingly. I've actually had a couple of days where I did have a Leo at night. Not that of course, I drink Leo because it's something I could buy by the case, but normally I'd have just one drink at night, probably sort of a Smirnoff Ice or something else. But you know what it's like.
No. I buy half gallons of gin and vodka.
I was highly tempted to go and buy a bottle of 100 pipers or something just to mix it up a bit, or even buy a bottle of vodka just so I could have something different on the spur of a moment. But again, beer was good enough, and it's something I can share with the family. It's all right.
Oh, what was that? Bean? Oh, beer.
Beer.
Your Australian accent throws me off.
Stuck in Florida. It's basically going to happen anyways. We just need it to happen slowly. Well, I don't know. I actually believe that's the wrong way. I think we should just, apart from the overload in the hospital system, right? But I've been reading articles, the fact that in England there's hospitals that don't have people in them because people aren't getting the normal sicknesses and the problems, right? They've got sectioned off, parts of the hospital sectioned off for the quarantine of the people with the virus, but the hospital themselves is actually vacant. They've only got 20% occupancy there because what they're reserving for the normal sick people, because people aren't going out, they're not getting into car accidents, they're not getting into fights, they're not getting all the normal stuff that's been going on. The hospitals are actually sort of underpopulated. When you how many people was it? 20,000 people. What was the UK again? I've forgotten the numbers.
Here they canceled. They said no elective surgeries. If it's not absolutely necessary for life continuance, you can't do it. So that's so the hospitals haven't been able to make their easy money by doing these elective surgeries.
Yeah.
And, it's cleaned them out. They don't need any beds if they aren't doing.
So are we really overloaded? I think it's to do with the equipment to help them, the respirators. That's where the issue lies. I think we've got plenty of beds for everybody everywhere to do the normal stuff to take care of a large influx, right? Again, do we want to be like this for 18 months, right? As I said, if Thailand keeps on going on the way on this particular path, we'll have no cases in 2 weeks because people are being smart about it. It's been nipped in the bud, and they've closed the borders. They've stopped the stuff coming in. What was it I read the other day? Was it this 8 version? This 8. They've got 8 different strains of the virus now. So it is mutating. We don't want any of those. Whatever we've had here, we might have had an early strain, right? But what finally got to Italy, maybe that was a heavier strain. They said that might have come to Thailand through the before they closed the border. But as I said, it looks like they're nipped in the bud. But the numbers that we're seeing around the planet is just absolutely, what are people doing wrong, right? Why can't they take the example from Thailand? Or is it just Thailand's just a third world country? We don't listen to third world country. Or is that what it is? I don't know. It's just bizarre.
I had a video which the Thai people are actually queuing up at the gold shop to sell away their gold.
Oh yeah, but this is what's happening. What have we got as a gold price? Let's do a gold price right now. Thai gold price right now. 27,000. So like I bought some gold in January for I think I paid 21,000 for 1 baht of gold, and it's now 27,400. The price of the gold price global. Yahoo. Yeah,
5% increase is pretty good.
I should have bought more. What have we got for Yahoo? Yahoo Finance. What have we got price? We've got gold. Gold. Okay, so that's 1 day. So let's do it. Let's look at 6 months. So gold futures. So look at the trading that's been going on. See, gold was just one of those sort of products that people didn't really worry about. You know, it was 1589 in February. I bought in January, so that was 1569. Now it's 1745, 17 to 17. So that's gained 10% in 6 months. Is that what it's saying? This is futures, of course.
But you tried to scroll your screen.
So so we got futures versus 1745 on futures. Currently it's 17, so they're asking 1729 per ounce US dollars. Had a bit of a dip there earlier this morning, but there's a lot of trading going on in gold at the moment. Can we get a different spread on that? I should have all this sort of stuff prepared before I start the day, shouldn't I? But yes, anyway, we had a bit of a gold price change.
We couldn't create our base if you got prepared.
But yes, the gold price has changed. It's one of those things. I think people are cashing in. That was what I was saying last week. I think they're running out of cash. The gold shops are running out of cash to actually pay for the gold. They're actually having to borrow money, right, from the banks to give cash to the people, right, which then that puts prices up as well, because you've got to cover your financing of whatever you're borrowing to liquidate the gold. So we was they had to close the beach in New South Wales yesterday after only 1 day of reopening. Too many people. Yeah, well that's typical. Like I just don't think people in the West are getting the whole idea of this social distancing thing, right? You cannot just put a towel on the beach and be safe, right? You need to keep, you need to stop going to these public places. Again, like, what am I saying? Look, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, it's absolute bedlam in our street at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. But again, it's Thailand. We're not seeing any problems out here. And he's herd mentality at its best. Yeah, sheep mentality, and then the sheep herd.
Sheeple.
Daughter had to have a tooth out yesterday. The hospital in Chiang Mai, the hospital in Chiang Mai had absolutely nobody in it. Yeah, because that's the thing. It's just, well, if we're not seeing people in the hospitals, then maybe our hospital systems can cope with a big influx, right? We've got known results coming out, people basically go asymmetric with a certain drug regime, which has been proven over and over again, except for the very, very worst cases, right? A 3 to 4 day drug regime of a few different types of drugs. That's HIV sort of spawn drugs, ones they've used in the SARS before. Not so much the one that Trump was spouting, that one for malaria. It showed results, but only because of the fact that it's sort of what it does to the system, but it also has fairly severe side effects and has to be administered carefully. And you have to obviously know if you're going to be susceptible to the side effects. I should have had those prepared as well. I've read all the articles. But there are some good, like I said, there with these experimental drugs, but not experimental, they've been around for a while. But what this is saying is the drugs themselves, right, they're showing a 3 to 4 day stint in hospital. Fever is down within, if you've got the fever, first day in hospital taking that drug, your fever drops, right? You might have been on a respirator for 2 to 3 days, right? But you're constantly taking those other drugs. This is what they're finding. But the problem is they can't make the drug fast enough. That's the real issue. Pharmaceutical industries have let us down. They've created this drug-dependent society around the world, and when it's their turn to step up to the plate and do something like make the drugs work together, if you've got a patent on it, the patents should be shot. They should just basically void patents, because that's what Trump needs to do. Trump, get this one. Every drug that they found that has benefits for this virus, cancel the patents. Just create a frickin' damn cancellation of that patent. Let every drug company make it, get the drugs into the market, and it's done. Right? That's what you need to do. Right? Unfortunately, patents are patents.
No, Warren, in real life it doesn't work like that.
I know it doesn't, but that's what it needs to be done.
The pharmaceutical company is even more morbid or more cruel as you think. They will go into lawsuits and claims and
if Trump turned around and created a blanket sort of exemption that says this will be a law, creates he's got executive privilege to do that sort of stuff. Just to say, if you. Everybody makes these drugs, that patent is null and void. He's got the right as the supreme commander to do that. He's got absolute God power in some of those situations, right? You can press a button to wipe out the planet, right? He's got God powers, right? He just has to say it and say, up you. But it won't happen because of the fact that they're so indebted to the drug companies, the fact that, again, you just throw the case out of court. If it's said we need to get these drugs out to people, you need to make the drugs. Again, if he cancels the patents, then the drug company says, well, we're not going to make them. Well, what happened to Ford when they were told to make respirators? Strange country. We know what needs to be done, and the things that need to be done are being tied up in red tape and not being done. It's almost like they want this virus to ruin the planet. Right now, that's what it looks like. It's absolutely crazy.
Not if they are upholding the monetary gain.
Upholding? Well, they keep on printing money to hold the financial markets up. That's no answer. You can't do that, right? Industry has to produce goods. It has to have people to produce the goods. That's the way the system works, right? We need drugs in the hospitals so people can go on these trials so that they can get it out and sort of basically get an approval that a drug that's proved fairly safe, it's an antiviral, it works for this thing, just get that drug made. Right? Just if a patent's held by that company, well, stuff it. Do the right thing. Company just does the right thing. It's just one patent. It's not going to ruin your company, right? Just sort of say, put it in the public. It's my patent. I give it out publicly. Everybody can make it. Get everybody working on it, right? Then we'll have cut prices.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of the drug companies are under investigation right now because when they produced an HIV drug that had bad side effects, they kept marketing it even after they created a new drug that didn't have the side effects, but they waited until the patent ran out on the other one before releasing the new drug.
Well, that's ridiculous. That is inhumane. Those companies should be brought and put against the wall. But yeah, this is what we've got. You know, we're fighting different wars. We're fighting a war against the pharmaceutical company who want to frickin' rule the roost, right, and make billions of dollars, right, for the sake of people dying. They should be, you know, don't blame China. Blame the companies that are holding out on these drugs. Blame the companies that hold the patents that don't produce enough of the drugs, right? Really? One company giving up one patent is not going to bring down the planet, right? Putting a border around China, right? That's not going to solve the problem. It's not going to help. Mr. Mitch, fishing is closed in the States, is it?
The land in all the other countries other than Thailand.
Mm. But I said, what we got is we got a country here. We got a country that's surrounded by, you know, we got water on part of it, but it's basically got borders on 3 other countries, right? And you know, this whole section here, right, seems to Bangladesh is fairly high, but you know, it's just this whole central region seems to be fairly devoid of the virus. And why is this not being studied heavier? What is it we're doing? Why doesn't the rest of the world do what we're doing? I give up.
Okay. Well, in the U.S., I can tell you right now, U.S. people would be going crazy if you shut down the borders of the states and said no, you can't cross from Virginia into Maryland. My geography sucks, I know, but you know, if you tried to say you can't go from Washington into Oregon because we're locked down, they wouldn't stand for it. There would be riots in the streets, and they'd be
I know, but that's what needs to be done. You need to. That's what Thailand's done. Provinced it off, created borders.
We've got people here marching on the state capitol in Arizona because they want the government to allow people to go back to work, even though it's not time yet, because they're not sick. They need to get back to work.
Yeah. Yep.
And they just
can't
understand why they are having to not work when they're not sick.
Yeah. Nobody here is sick, so you know, it's just driving me nuts.
No, I get the idea of that. The authorities are actually chasing the wind. You know, they don't really know what they need to look out for and what to prevent and what are the cure. Basically, they don't have a fixated answers to all these questions.
But they can look at this Central Asia, and what are they doing here that's different from us over there? In a less than adequate health system. What are they doing here that we're not doing? Do what we do here. Open Thai restaurants. Make Thai food. Close the borders of your provinces.
No, Warren, I just want to share with you guys is that that's the beauty of like having the internet. Like we were having a very nice conversation between you, me, and Augie, that we are all basically living in 3 different countries and have different practices and preventions and things like that, you know. And from there, you are able to figure it out that which governments or governance that they actually taking proper steps and precautions to the outbreak.
Yeah. But it's obviously, apart from you had to buy a couple of cases of beer, life is great here. I feel healthy. I should get out and exercise more. I say that every time. I think the more I say it, the more I feel good about it, or bad about it, one of the two. But there's so many good games to play. God, I don't have enough hours in the day to play all the games I want to play. Just scrolling here.
If you spent too many hours on it, you'd finish the game and you wouldn't have to play the game.
Yeah, I suppose that's one of the reasons why you've got to play a few games. The fact that you can actually you can go from Middle America into outer space, and then put on a spacesuit. Spacesuits are good for can't catch a virus in a spacesuit, can you?
As long as you didn't bring it with you.
We got the PTU back up. Is that PTU? I'm going to have a look at Star Citizen. The PTU up. Come on. Oh, great. You're not going to give me a login? Bloody shit. The thing's... I can't see if the PTU's up yet. But we're going to do the 3.9's about already releasing in Star Citizen. That's something else to occupy my time. I just need more time to play games. So, well, apart from the fact that I can't really socialise like with my foreign friends in Bangkok, and do my Tuesday night pub crawl with the visitors and have a good laugh and see some sexy girls dancing on stage. Life is normal. The only thing I'm missing is wandering into the bloody malls and using their air conditioner. My electricity, I can't say, they said they're going to give discounts, but my electricity price went up because I had been home more, because of course I got the air conditioning running most of the time. Wonder what next month's bill will be like. But I thought we were supposed to be getting a discount, but I can't see any discounts on there. It's not in my name, it's just on the house name, so they don't know there's a foreigner here. Well, I see a 3% discount. What's a 3%? It's 163 baht. Really?
Is there like any house rental like pushing down the rent or what?
Not that I sort of see. Chanya found a nice. We're going to give. She wanted to go out last Wednesday to look at another property, but again, I said it's premature. Like really, this whole thing is going to upset the whole apple cart of the whole house bunting and everything. But it was like three. It was out in Nakhon Pantom. There was like 3 rai with a 2-bedroom house. Looks like an ex-farm field or something like that, or ex-rice farming. But they've done it up as like a almost westernized American ranch style. It wasn't a big house. It's only 2-bedroom, but they wanted $3.5 million for it. People are destitute. People have been holding land out here. We did a run around a couple of weeks ago. People have been holding this land around the area. They've sort of said, "I need money. I'm going to have to sell this land." Right, so they've actually marked it out and parcelled off little, 50 square metre plots of land for people to buy, so you can build your own little, shack and things like that. I'm not sure at what price they're asking, but that's what's coming up in Chanya's mind now. Let's buy some land. I said, but in reality, you can't fund it, right? You don't have income in the selling. Don't rely on me, right? It's not my point, although I said I'd help you out, but if I died tomorrow, then you've got 3 years of income because you're not in my will, right? My daughter's still in my will, so all my holdings, everything goes to my daughter, right? There'll be $1 million baht in the bank account here, right, which will last probably 3 years, right? Because there's a period or a payment that comes out every month, right? That just covers the rent and things like that. And that's what you have to survive on, unless of course your salon, right, is making money, right? You can't be thinking about taking a home loan, right, or even a sort of a loan, or even buying property and paying it off. It's just ridiculous, right? Just forget about that sort of stuff. But it was a really nice place. So the picture she showed was really good. We were going to go out, but again, it came down to the thing I'm concerned about, the non-essential travel. Might be have a tie with me, because you can probably sort of talk to authorities and say it's okay. But really, is it okay? It's really non-essential travel. And really, there's not much that I can do around here to film and go and see, to stay within the province. So, and again, do more of the sort of daily life sort of stuff, or maybe we do some, I said, we have got this thing here on our Discord. we can go into here and there's 3 people there, we can turn our video cameras on and we can go live. So this is a new feature they put on here. Of course, that won't work because I've currently got the video camera captured, so it won't actually capture the camera because we're streaming here, if you get what I mean. But you just click on the button, away it goes. But yeah, so we have got the option of actually going and doing that Streamlabs, so not just the StreamYard stuff without a cost. Of course, the only difference, it'll have the menu down the side, but we can have 10 to 20 people in that, doing a video. Yep, there's Oggy. Is that you sharing your screen, was it, Oggy? Oh, there's Scary Boy. There he's turned it off. It's night time. But anyway, look, it was it's 11:30. I really got not much more to say. They've got some funny things did come up on this, but again, everybody seems to be down at the moment. The only one that I can really sort of, put there is this is the way I feel. They say you can't fix stupid. Turns out you can't quarantine it either. I think Blue did send this one in. I did quite like this. Buttons on my jeans have started social distancing from each other. That was a nice one, Blue. I thought that was good.
Migratory buttons on the jeans. Those suck.
Then this one came through from, I don't know, did we show that one last week? Oh, yeah, I think we showed that one last week.
No idea, man. Got tons of that.
The conspiracy virus, conspiracy theory virus. Yeah, what was that one there? Turn the volume off. I just went to the numbers. Yeah, this one here. I thought it was a nice production. Whatever it was. We can probably go full screen on that, but I can't really show much because it'll probably be copyright. But it goes on, they break this thing down. It's almost like, not every single leader in China is tested positive for the deadly virus. Unfortunately, I can't easily scroll through it with the player. Thousands have lost their lives. Countless people locked in their homes. But really, what they were getting, the thing is, it's all, the conspiracy, the fact that it's been created by China as the culmination of the trade war that Trump has been waging with China for the last 2 years. But it was an interesting one. Like, that video's on the Discord there. If you're one of our Discord patrons, jumping on there. What else is there? Basically, I just haven't been interested. I've just tuned out from the whole thing the last week. I just can't be bothered with the bullshit that's going on. And I did raise a point on the Facebook, on the Facebook feed from, where is it? Let me go to the Facebook group again. Can't remember exactly what I sort of said. Thailand Vloggers Hub. The point was, I was highlighting a particular article from last week. Where is it? Yeah, this was the one here. Yeah, so we had this article come out. Get ready to be hit for a season of flu, dengue. Now, says the doctors, right? And this is the thing. I personally have more concern about still getting dengue fever, right, or being getting just the flu. I'm concerned about that because I can't really defend myself in the language of the scenario. What happens if you get the flu? They're automatically going to assume that you got COVID-19. They're going to throw you in hospital, right? And then I'm, quarantined at hospital, paying hospital freaking fees for something that I can quite easily take care of myself at home. Because quite frankly, I still feel the fact that, I'm fairly healthy. My immune system's very rigid. I boost my immunity with certain vitamins and minerals as well. I believe in those religiously. I'm taking my vitamin C, it's already been shown that vitamin C seems to be a good way to boost your immune system. It's always been a good thing to boost your immune system at the best of times. But what I was just saying here on this, and not only that, was, what about other news? There's hardly anything coming out of Thailand right now about, what am I going to do in 3 months' time? They're giving this amnesty for people in Thai, the foreigners are on tourist visas and other visas sort of thing, because the lockdown and everything else is just saying, well, automatic extensions. They're not saying anything about automatic extensions for the retirees. They all gone home. I'm not seeing anything coming out anywhere about extensions for retirees. Right, they're getting extensions for everybody else, but us retirees have to still run the gauntlet in Chang Rotorua, from what I understand. Right, in amongst, although they've just said Chang Rotorua seems to be fairly bare. But what about, like bank accounts, not a problem, but what about health insurance? I need to get the health insurance. That's part of the deal now. Somebody says, why don't I get an O visa? Well, I can't get marriage visa. O visa is a marriage visa. It also has, I think it's for volunteers and a few other things. I can't qualify for any of the O visa standings, unless, of course, they fake it, right? And I don't really want to be in a faking situation. I'm a retiree, right? Nobody sort of said anything about the retirement visa health insurance, what's happening there. If the retirees have left the country not buying insurance, that insurance is going to go through the roof, right? What are they going to do now? They have to add, right, COVID-19 insurance to that health insurance. I've already got COVID-19 insurance. Nothing's being said. All the real news that needs to be said seems to be hidden by all the other stuff around the virus, and it's really starting to drive me nuts. And I really don't want to. I'm taking this attitude. Somebody else can do the work. I can't be bothered finding it. But anyway, go hopping. In the UK, they said if you feel you have COVID, stay home and self-treat. Only if you go to hospital if they work. Yeah, but if that's what they're saying, well, why are we seeing so many? Right, everybody's coming out because they don't feel ill and spreading it because they got the virus. I don't know. And Robert Gray, extensions are per normal at immigration. The amnesty doesn't apply to non-immigrant visas. Right. It's almost like, what do you want us to do? You let the tourists stay here, but the people who are looking after, right, Thai families, and they can't work, so it's coming out of my pocket. I'm actually it's not costing me it's not costing me anymore. It's actually costing me less by staying home because I'm not going out and eating at the fancy restaurants. But that's another story altogether. We'll talk about that next week maybe. So I'm not actually feeling out of pocket at all. I'm actually sort of feeling better. I'm feeling better off, mind you. I did buy a Red Dead Redemption. That was $50 US. I've also bought the memory upgrade for the laptop, but that was $40. That was $50. No, was it? Actually, how much was it? I have to look at that price. I think it was about 1,000 baht or something like that. No, it wasn't 50. Can't remember. Might have been 4,000 baht for that. Come to think of it, 3,500 baht. What's that? That's probably $100 maybe for the memory upgrade for the laptop. I just bought myself a game pad for better gaming, one with programmable keys, so I can one-handed play games, because most of the games are one hand with your mouse. There's your mouse, one hand like that, and playing like that. So I bought that as well. So they're out-of-pocket expenses that I don't normally budget for. But as I said, we've been buying street food and not going to fancy restaurants and things like that. So I'm actually saving money. And what are you doing, darling?
I shower already.
You shower already? Where are you going now?
No, I not go.
You don't go?
I just stay home.
You just stay home.
I make Maid, take care you.
Take care of me
I maid.
and kiss me.
No.
Kiss me. Jump on.
No.
Oh, oh my God! I so shy.
You shy. You joke. Molly, I think. Oh, sorry. I think to have raining now.
We have some raining again, so we got more rain coming in the
You
day.
see?
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, it's okay.
Some raining. You talking with friend, no? Must
We're still got the live stream going.
Okay.
Stuck in Florida, Mr. Mitch. Did you see Dr. Brick's reaction to what he said? What was that all about? So, Mr. Florida.
Oh, mưa lớn, sorry.
Crazy woman, crazy woman. But if Chanya thinks there's somewhere safe to go out to that's safe, you know, and won't get us into trouble and go and do that, the camera's all ready to go and record. Just that, you know, she hasn't really pushed the issue apart from. But I do sort of see that she's in a state of mind that she's bored. She only plays 2 games. She's got her snake or worm game that she plays on her phone. And what's the other one? ROV, which is the 5v5. They're the only 2 games she plays, and she plays them all day. She must be bored of those 2 games by now. She doesn't play the really good games like I do. I mean, she doesn't have a computer that can play them either. But that's beside the point. Sid C, I didn't notice this. Sid C, g'day. It was hilarious. He looked like a kid in class that did not want to be called. Too slow. Warren, food supply in Nos never gonna fail. Just logistics fail. Yeah, that's one of the things. You know, the logistics systems that we've got to supply these supermarkets is crazy. Whereas this food here, it's all locally supplied. You know, because although we're in suburbia Bangkok, right? It's villages, and then you've got plots of land that producing food. And that's what it's like here in Thailand. It's even it's even like that up almost to the river, which is central Bangkok. Out here, it's obviously more rural. I think I've taken you a few rides around the back, but it's all rural. It's all rural. It's all doing all the produce that we sort of see in the markets. And of course, that's if you're not making one particular produce, then other stuff's coming in. It's being traded. That market still exists. So, if you're a durian farmer, right, where you live, you might trade your durian for something else, on a cost for cost basis, right? So, the durian farmers they'll get, for want of a better word, they'll get carrots. Durian's a big thing right now. It's in the street. And she keeps on getting. She wants me to buy durian every week. Then she asked why I don't eat durian. Well, I don't like durian. Yeah, I saw about the disinfectant one. Yeah, I'm trying to ignore anything that Trump says. Basically, I think the rule of thumb now: anything Trump says, do the exact opposite. You got a better chance.
He claims it was a sarcastic comment.
Is that right? There's nothing but bullshit comes out of the guy's mouth. Seriously.
Yeah, he'd be a much better president if he just shut the.
Oh, that's Robert. You've actually got vegetables on your land now, have you? I didn't think you did. I haven't been watching your building videos, of course, but I wouldn't have thought. The last time you was putting a pool in.
Oh, come on, guys. Impeachment also can't even get him.
Who, what?
I was talking about Trump. The impeachment, they can't even get him.
You can't get him?
Yeah, the impeachment case, court trials for the president.
Yeah, I'm not making out what you mean. Anyway, moving on. There's just something about the language there. I just don't get what you're sort of saying. Something's happening, but I don't. It's either chopping the word off, or just basically the word's not coming through at a clarity that I can relate to the word. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Impeachment of Trump.
Oh, impeachment. Okay, right. Okay. Look,
Well, the problem the reason why the impeachment didn't go through is because the the Republicans hold 50% or greater of the Senate, which would
Yeah.
have to do it. And because of that, it's political. It didn't happen.
Politics,
He
yeah.
was impeached. He just was not punished for it.
Yeah.
Congress impeached him. The Senate released him.
So it'll be on forever on his record. He can't expunge the impeachment. Most good presidents would have actually bowed out. I think in Watergate they had this similar situation in Watergate when Watergate impeachment was going to go through. Rather than be impeached and tarnish his good name, he stood down, didn't he? That's how it worked in the Watergate scandal.
Yeah. Nixon stood down instead of being impeached.
Yeah. So he didn't get impeached. Right? Mind you, the evidence was pretty much the evidence in Watergate was no better or worse than the evidence we had for Trump here, except for the fact that you've got a media, right, which is two sides of media having a war of words, swaying the American public. American public back in the 70s, the left and the right worked together to produce a good America. I think that went out the door in the 80s, didn't it? When did it start to fall down in America? Was it 80s? Oggy, you know better about politics.
I slept through it. I didn't pay any attention. I am not a big political person. I consider federal politics as being, kind of like when you're exercising, you can do one more rep. Well, with what happens on the federal level, we can handle anything for 4 years. Then we'll get a new president.
Yeah. Well, in Australia, the only thing I only know the Australian system is the fact that, we had a pretty good system until, even though we sacked the government in 75, right, things were still moving along quite nicely through until the mid-80s. And then it just seemed to just go out the frickin' window. Right? And it become us versus them, left versus right, good versus bad, Christian versus the demon, and this bipartisan fight between you can't say in Australia Labor doesn't have some great ideas. I think Labor has some great ideas. Liberals have some great ideas, but that doesn't mean the fact that if Liberal has a great idea, it doesn't mean Labor has to shoot it down to pieces. Right? They should look at the merits of the overall good of the people. Right? Stop trying to win a seat and try to win the hearts of the people, for crying out loud. But it's just got ridiculous. I've given up on politics as well. If I was given a chance, I'd release anthrax in their building and just hope they all died. Stuck in Florida, when he says something stupid, he calls out. That's right. Yeah, he's an absolute ridiculous person. He is. I have no time for Trump. He's the leader of the free world, or supposedly. Yeah, I think the next thing I'll be sort of recommending me, the red, white, and blue. Let's get into the Tide Pods, but that's already been shot down and they don't work. But I'm pretty sure that given half a chance, we can recommend Tide Pods. So Roberts is saying B has her veggies and fruits and fruit trees now growing and now producing quite well. Very good. Pool on hold until June because of lockdowns. The company is in Chonburi province. Oh, really? So you had a bit of a change of plans. Okay, that makes sense. All good. Is she out there selling the stuff down at the local market? Nothing gets done. Everything is doublespeak. I know. It's ridiculous. I'm glad I've only got 20 more years on this planet. Well, more to the point, I hope I can upload into the cloud. I hope to upload my consciousness to the cloud, right, and play games for the rest of my life. You never grow old there. Anyway, I'm just looking at time, 10 to 12. Nothing much I can say here, but don't forget, if you're in Thailand, stay away from open water areas, dengue fever. That worries me because I know the fact that anything that puts me at risk of having to go to a hospital, right, because I don't have health insurance. I said, I've had to pay out of pocket for the kidney stones, right? But these sort of things have always worried me. And hopefully, when I do get forced to take the health insurance, I will be able to have less of a concern about dengue fever or other things. But right now, I just don't want to be thrown to a hospital ward with the flu into a ward full of people with dengue, with coronavirus, for instance. Your immune system's down, and they get that on top of it. That's not really good. But anyway, hopefully my immune system will stay up, and we're all good. And hopefully I'll get out, and Chanya can find something to do this week. Otherwise, well, we just might do another, daily life in the soy video. I can't think of anything good to say. I'm just so over the bullshit, almost to the point I just want to hide in an online world somewhere.
Warren, you're not the only one that having this problem. Everyone else on YouTube does.
Yeah, we're all in that situation where we're all trying to figure out what the best thing to do is. I'm just ignoring it, hoping it'll go away. But that's not really the right thing to do. But there's absolutely nothing I can do about it. So I've got this basic philosophy in life, is the fact that if I can't directly influence the outcome, then I'll just let it just disappear. I can't be bothered getting involved and wasting my energies on something that I have no chance of fighting with. I still got to go into Bangkok. That's an essential travel, which is actually going in to do my passport renewal. Maybe we'll have to organise to do that this week. But yeah, like Mr. Mitchell is saying, we've reached saturation overload. I really need to look for something to talk about next Saturday that doesn't involve the virus. Really, it's just getting too much. But
I would suggest that you don't go there. You know why? Because the YouTube channel is all over it.
Yeah. As I said, I'm just trying to think of something to talk about, but again, there's nothing really coming up in the news feeds that creates entertainment of any level. Maybe for next week's live stream, we'll just stream of 2 hours of Red Dead Redemption, and you guys can chat over the top of it, while I shoot people. I don't know. That might be an idea. Let's just completely get devoid of the whole situation. I don't know. I didn't even change the backdrop today. I'm slack.
No, it's good.
Yeah, I got to get out today or tomorrow. Get some more supplies. The bi-weekly supplies, because we get most of the stuff in the street here. 7-Eleven carries it, right? So why spend petrol money and go and park at the supermarket, right? And the price of 7-Eleven shopping is almost the same as Big C. So we only go to Big C for the stuff I can't get at 7-Eleven. That's only once every couple of weeks, like washing powder, bulk fruit juice, which is something I put in the fridge and things like that.
But did you try Macro? Macro is even cheaper, right?
No, but Macro, you got to pay cash. They don't take your card. Well, unless you've got a Citibank credit card, they'll take Citibank credit card, but Macro is cash only, right? And if you go to Macro, like last time we went to Macro and bought the extra supplies, I only just had enough cash in my pocket to cover it, because they wouldn't take Chanya's credit card, they wouldn't take Chanya's, couldn't do bank pay. I was almost going to have to walk outside, find an ATM, right, put the cash in and then pay cash, but I managed to scrape together the 3,500, because I don't carry much cash in my pocket these days. But I had 3,500 baht in my pocket, just covered the bill.
No, because I was just wondering or thinking about like giving it an idea is that since nowadays that we are into this kind of pandemic, and then why not we just like so-called chip in or save up, like like the Australia version, like we buy our essential needs in bulk. Where in Thailand there is this place called Macro, right, and then they're selling all their stuff in bulk, and it should be cheaper, and then after that it'll last longer, with the cash payment, yeah.
The problem is, like, okay, so if I look at the price of one of my fruit juices is 13 baht in a 7-Eleven. So I can get them on a daily basis if I run out. I just get one for 13 baht. I don't get any discount. That's the price, retail price. This is my biggest problem I face here right now. Is the fact that if I go to Big C, I will get a pack of 6 of the same juice, right, for 28. I think it's 59 baht. So I'm saving like 15 baht or something. I get one for free. Right, but I think 15 baht, that's not what is 15 baht? I keep on forgetting the fact that 15 baht is close to $1 now, It used to be 50 cents, I've lost track of that, you normally, you're always looking for the save 5 cents on gas, when you're buying gas in Australia. If they're selling it, $1.35 a litre, then I'd rather go to that service station because it's $1.30 a litre, saving 5 cents a litre. But you don't even think about it over here. And, well, that's just 1 baht, What's 1 baht? I got a pocket full of 1 bahts. It's always like I'm always putting 1 bahts in the bloody money box because they're just clutter in your pocket, because of this for $2, 299 baht. You always get 1 baht change, and it's frustrating. And you don't feel, you feel not obliged to, give somebody 10 baht for something in 1 baht coins. It's almost it's demeaning to some levels, if you know what I mean. But yeah, so I can get a Big C, but I can better get it for 2 baht cheaper. That pack of 6, I can get it 2 baht cheaper at Macro. What's 2 baht? To run all the way down to Macro, and get for 2 baht saving. To me, it's just that numbers game. Maybe Thais think more carefully about it. I don't. I just can't see the point of it. So that's an interesting comment there. Bill Clinton got impeached, but didn't resign. Did he? I didn't catch that one.
Yeah.
I don't follow American politics. It's unfortunate. Yeah, so impeachment doesn't work. Also paid 800k for sexual harassment and lost his right to practice law. Yeah. People in power.
Yeah, they were talking. I mean, they were just commenting on the presidency in America, that the impeachment system that doesn't hold down the person that for a good time, and rather than they were being released.
I think the sort of stuff that was happening in the 60s was what they needed to be done. Forget about this bloody legal way to do it. Pay somebody to go and shoot the bastard. That solves the problem.
Oh yeah, getting yourself over too much in the Red Redemption game.
Well, seriously, they didn't like what was it? The guy that started the space race? Was it? Wasn't Nixon? There was. I can't remember all your presidents. No,
Richard Nixon.
Was it Nixon? Okay, so they shot him because of his liberal ideas, and like how many presidents have been shot before Nixon? Pretty much half the presidencies were shot, weren't they?
Yeah.
The chances of being shot as a president up until the 1970s was about 35% chance that you'd be shot to terminate your presidency if you did the wrong thing. Nobody's been shot since. Why? Bullet costs $1.
No, because they spend a lot of their citizens' money on their security issues.
Seriously, I could take it. Well, I could take it out from a kilometre away. Give me a good rifle. Do you think that they couldn't, and they'd catch me from a kilometre away? And would it matter? God, I'd saved the world. But yeah, it's got nothing to do with me. It's American politics.
Yeah.
But that was the best way to solve it. That worked better. It saved a lot of money. Like the bullet cost a couple of dollars, right? And somebody's forfeiture of life, right? Certainly a lot cheaper than an impeachment. How much that impeachment that they went through how much that cost the American taxpayers? Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to bring you guys to that topic about wasting the American citizen taxpayers' money.
Mr.
Because if it
Mr.
doesn't
Mitch,
work right, and then why everyone is going through the motion?
mm, Mr. Mitch has
That's
corrected me
my
there.
point of view.
Ford attempt assassination, Reagan attempt assassination, John Leslie, yeah.
John Lennon is not a president.
He was a better guy to be assassinated, though. Yeah, maybe the quarantine. I just would like the things to get back to normal. You know, Thailand is almost back to normal, and the rest of the world just has just gone crazy with this stuff, just doing all the wrong things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What I just want to bring up to the topic is that do you know that the air in Bangkok is really cleared up, very nice and very clean
I,
nowadays.
I honestly haven't even looked at the what have we got today? Um, what's the air quality index for today say?
No, because previously we were actually going into like the Bangkok's air pollution, and the air is like not very good and things like that. And nowadays is very very good.
Well, we've got Nakhon Rakashima, right, is 15, so it's very good. It's good. Phuket's 24. Chiang Mai is now 99. That's still moderate. But yeah, so we've got 83 here. It's 98 in Bangkok. 62 in Pattaya. So those numbers are coming through pretty good. But I think this time of the year, it did tend to settle down because of we've got a lot more breeze coming in off the lake, and this was normal Songkran period. But yeah, such is life. And Bill Clinton was impeached for lying about a blowjob. I should pay more attention to American politics. I just don't really get myself involved. I can't do anything about it. It's not my presidency. It's not my government. I don't get the vote in it. So uh, if anything I can't influence, and I'm not going to. The only influence I can do is just talk about it here on YouTube. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to go and play some video games. I'm going to try to have something for next week. I'll try to get a couple of videos out next week as well. We're just got to find something to do. Other than that, look, boys and girls, Forever Holidays, another name I haven't seen before. Thanks for joining us. Things have changed. Trump actually has a hot wife and doesn't need a blowjob. Too true. But anyway, look.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm going to go and see what Chanya wants to do. If there's anything happening downstairs, grab some breakfast, do all the stuff.
All right.
Then probably see if we can convince Oggy to stay up and play video games at 4 o'clock in the morning or something like. What time's it over there now, Oggy? Oh, he's gone.
Oggy's gone.
Disappeared. I know it's probably past midnight.
Yeah.
Or what's he doing? Is he playing? No, he's actually. I know he did an all-nighter last night. Poor guy.
Experience.
Have yet he still cheats on. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he cheats on him. But anyway, like, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm just rambling on as I usually do. I just want this thing over. I'm bored with the whole thing. I want to change the video game, but it's not possible for some reason. So I just have to put a different video game on. I like America in the Bible Belt in the 1890s. It seems like a place where I could have really sort of made myself at home. The law is one
That's
thing.
the golden era.
The law was the law of the gun, if you were good at shooting shit, you were good. Anyway, thanks for joining. Thanks for dropping in. Go Hopping Blue, Mr. Mitch, stuck in Florida, Forever Holiday. Who else was there? Robert Groves, Sid C, the whole gang. Usually the same numbers that want to chat. I know I don't pay much attention to. I usually let other people read that sort of stuff. You need to do the @ symbol, @ Warren Gerties, so that I can sort of see it, sort of catch my attention. Then I know what you're talking about. Then want to ask me a question. Anyway, don't forget hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Don't forget the Patreon, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to get out of your hair. Hit that closing screen and see you guys later.
I want you to lift me up so